Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're examining how inflammation reshapes mood and behavior. Fresh research published in Cell this April maps the chemical signals that link your immune response to anxiety circuits in the brain. We'll outline what those studies uncovered, why blocking inflammation the wrong way backfires, and the practical steps Dr. Mercola recommends to keep your emotional balance intact.
Thanks, Ethan. The big takeaway is that inflammation isn't just a physical process. It directly rewires how you feel and interact. Researchers pinpointed two cytokines, one pro-inflammatory, one anti-inflammatory, that talk to the same set of neurons in the brain's fear center. When the inflammatory messenger dominates, anxiety spikes almost immediately. When the calming messenger prevails, those fear circuits quiet down just as fast.
That rapid response surprised the scientists. In mouse models, raising inflammatory cytokines made the animals hug the walls, avoid open spaces, and explore less. A classic anxiety pattern. When the team tried to block the signal pharmacologically, the body overcorrected, pumping out even more cytokines. Anxiety became more intense, underscoring how delicately balanced the system is, and why a blanket anti-inflammatory pill often fails.
Exactly. The same neurons receive both danger and safety messages. Think of it as two competing dashboards feeding one control panel. Whichever signal is louder sets your emotional tone. The studies confirmed that these shifts occur within minutes of the cytokine surge, explaining why people often feel a sudden wave of unease during an infection or right after they start to recover.
The second study broadened the story beyond fear. Scientists looked at a lesser-known cytokine that doubles as a neurotransmitter, triggering that molecule-activated receptors in brain areas tied to social curiosity. Mice predisposed to avoid others began exploring, sniffing new companions, and breaking repetitive habits. Remarkably, neurons themselves produce this cytokine, proving the brain and immune system share chemical languages.
That discovery matters because it shows immune molecules don't need to cross the blood-brain barrier to alter behavior. They can be manufactured inside the brain or signal through areas already open to immune traffic. It also raises a bigger question researchers are now pursuing. Does chronic inflammation loosen that barrier over time, making the brain more vulnerable to future insults?
So, where does that leave someone who notices mood swings, irritability, or social withdrawal after every cold dental procedure or stressful event? Dr. Mercola argues that the answer lies in restoring immune balance rather than just muting symptoms. His first line of defense is cutting dietary linoleic acid, LA, to below 5 grams a day, and ideally under 2. Vegetable oils are the main culprit, hiding in restaurant meals, salad dressings, chips, and even healthy snacks.
LA drives oxidative stress at the mitochondrial level, which then amplifies cytokine production. Removing it is like taking gasoline off the fire. Once those oils are out, the next move is to feed mitochondria efficiently. Dr. Mercola recommends around 250 grams of easy-to-digest carbohydrates. Think fruit, fresh-pressed juice with pulp, white rice, and ripe whole fruit, so your cells have enough glucose to produce ATP without strain.
Many listeners worry that carbs will spike inflammation, but the data show the opposite when you've eliminated seed oils. Mitochondria fueled with balanced glucose generate less reactive oxygen species, which means fewer inflammatory signals are broadcast to the brain. The result is steadier energy and fewer mood dips.
Sunlight is the third pillar. Once seed oils have been reduced for at least 6 months, safe mid-morning or late afternoon sun exposure boosts anti-inflammatory molecules and supports circadian regulation. Light triggers the release of nitric oxide and helps skin-based immune cells send calming signals to those same fear-processing neurons we talked about.
Dr. Mercola is firm on avoiding alcohol too. Even small amounts inhibit mitochondrial function and raise oxidative stress in the brain, undoing the gains from better fats and sunlight. The old idea that moderate drinking is protective has been undercut by newer meta-analyses showing elevated mortality at any dose. From a neuroimmune standpoint, alcohol is a direct antagonist to emotional stability.
The final recommendation is tracking emotional symptoms after illness. Keep a simple journal. Note the day a fever breaks, then record irritability, anxiety, or social avoidance over the next week. Patterns emerge fast. If you see those feelings ramp up, that's your cue to double down on carb support, extra hydration, gentle movement, and early bedtimes. Early intervention shortens the spiral before cytokines seize the brain's fear circuitry.
Let's ground this with a real-world timeline. Suppose you catch a respiratory bug on May 1st. Fever peaks May 3rd. You might feel upbeat on May 4th, then unexpectedly anxious on May 5th. That's the inflammatory signal echoing in your brain. Instead of worrying it's all in your head, recognize the biology. Cytokines are loud. Calming molecules are quiet. Your job is to turn up the volume on the calming side through nutrient density, light, and rest.
And be cautious with broad-spectrum anti-inflammatories. The Cell study showed that blocking a single cytokine without addressing dietary drivers provokes a rebound as the immune system compensates. If you need symptom relief, pair short-term interventions with long-term lifestyle changes, especially lowering LA, so you don't end up in a worse anxiety loop.
We should also touch on the bigger research frontier. Teams are investigating whether chronic cytokine elevation loosens the blood-brain barrier. If that proves true, long-term seed oil consumption could heighten the brain's exposure to peripheral toxins, making future inflammatory episodes more severe. Reducing LA today may be preventive neurology for tomorrow.
Another avenue is using the prosocial cytokine as therapy, because neurons make it endogenously. Modulating its production might help conditions marked by social withdrawal or repetitive behavior. But any clinical application must respect the balance we keep stressing. Boost the wrong molecule or suppress another too aggressively, and you risk tipping anxiety scales the other way.
Summing up the practical strategy: 1. Linoleic acid. Read labels, cook at home, and swap vegetable oils for grass-fed butter, ghee, or tallow. 2. Feed mitochondria with digestible carbs while limiting excess fiber if your gut is compromised. 3. Leverage sun exposure at safe times once dietary oils are under control. 4. Remove alcohol entirely to protect brain energy pathways. 5. Journal mood shifts after any immune challenge to catch cytokine cascades early.
When you implement these steps, you're not chasing symptoms. You're recalibrating the immune-brain dialogue. Listeners often report steadier mood, sharper focus, and easier social engagement within weeks once LA drops and carb intake rises appropriately. The science we discussed explains why. Cytokines quiet down, fear neurons stop overfiring, and the brain's own calming messengers get heard.
That wraps our exploration of how inflammation alters mood and behavior. We covered the two 2025 Cell studies that mapped cytokine-driven anxiety circuits, revealed neurotransmitter-like immune signals for sociability, and clarified why indiscriminate anti-inflammatory strategies can misfire. More importantly, we outlined Dr. Mercola's 5-step plan to restore immune balance and protect your emotional resilience.
If today's discussion resonated, start by checking the oils in your pantry: canola, soybean, corn, even so-called pure olive blends. Replace them, track your mood after illnesses, and notice the difference. Feel free to share your observations with us. Real-world feedback helps refine future episodes.
Thanks for joining us on Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster.
And I'm Alara Sky. Stay informed, stay balanced, and we'll be back soon with more insights on how your biology shapes your well-being.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.